hands on knees. Open our minds, open our hearts. Help us speak with purpose as we move into today's topic. Lord, show us.
I like it. So that was God's Prayer by artist Carter Dandada. Welcome back to Off the Record podcast, where no topic is off limits, where we are uncensored, unfiltered, unscripted, where I am uncensored, unfiltered, unscripted. The rest of you, y'all, y'all ain't as blunt as me. I don't know why. But anyways, tonight's topic is going to be about the mysterious death of Nolan Wells, the young 18-year-old that was found on, is it Horn Island? I think it's Horn Island.
Yes.
That alone in itself is a crazy name. But anyways, I am your host, Uno, with my co-host, Farrah Monet, Renee, as well as Apex. But first, before we get into the topic, I want your take on this. And did you all see the I'll just read. So, as we saw on the 4th of July, hundreds of masked people from the extremist group, the White Nationals, march in Washington, D.C. on Independence Day. Um, did you see the photo of the young black lady that was on the train with them? How do you
Mm-hmm.
feel? One, how do you feel about them marching? And two, how do you feel about that photo? Anybody can
I
talk.
didn't see the photo.
You didn't see the photo? A journalist was on the train and he happened to take it. Um,
I don't think that young lady was scared because I think she was like, if something was to happen, she looked like she was about to she could handle herself. I don't know because she did not
She
even
probably
look
had a
like she was
gun.
in DC.
She probably she was ready. It wasn't safe. She on a train. It's not
yeah.
safe.
But you know
And
what?
if
They
they
didn't know
really
she was
wanted
going
to
to be
do it,
on there, and also she didn't know there was going to be on there. My take is, I am glad that none of them bothered her. That's how I feel.
They're not. They're a
Very
bunch of
glad.
cowards. They never had any intention of bothering her. They're cowards. They're all cowards, which is why they
Well,
have a
you know,
mask.
there might be one in the. I understand that, but there might be one in the group that really have more extremist views than those. But okay, so let's move beyond the photo. How do you feel about them marching on Washington D.C. on 4th of July?
I don't care.
but haven't they been down there before? Because their comrade in chief is like cool with it.
Hmm, that's a good take.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter what day it is, they don't care.
Take it.
They started with uh several different forced employees 250 years ago, and that's where they want to go back. They want to have control that they can't have. They do dumb stuff to try to remain in control. And so this was just one of those things for that someone can talk about it. Oh, we're coming, we're this. You're a joke. Let's move on.
Yeah,
But that's just me.
in my opinion, I actually don't mind that they marched. Actually, that's their right to march, whether people like it or not. I actually don't mind. Just know when it's our time to march too, don't have a problem. I'm just saying
They will.
we might not
Come on,
march
you're not
in
gonna have a
Washington
problem. They're gonna
D.C.
have a problem because you said it. So now you're
Well, of
gonna be
course they're gonna have
sensitive.
a problem. You know,
You
everything
you
that
said
black
they're gonna
people
be
do, they have
March.
a problem with. They don't know nothing about their own people, but they know everything about us. But when it's our time to march, please do not say anything that, oh, this is not right and stuff like that. Boy. But I will
Yeah,
say, did
exactly.
you the recent news? This lady, apparently there was a camera that was showing a group of guys with the mask, and this lady recognized her son. His face was covered in everything. She recognized her son, and
So
she
what did she do about
recognized him
it?
by the glasses that he was wearing.
Was she
That she
embarrassed?
was ready to whoop his butt.
I don't know if she was embarrassed or not, but she did come out saying that she recognized her son. And the news, and actually in how she recognized, because the news was reporting on it, that's how she happened to see the photo of him, because she didn't know what he was doing. But kudos to the mother for recognizing her son, because to me, I feel like if she spoke, well, I don't know. If she spoke up,
She also
I
put a
feel like
target
in
on his
some
back
way
because
she
now anybody who
probably,
knows her knows her son.
Oh yeah, that
yeah.
now if she came out and said this is my son and I debunk it, I would be more not the point that I just recognize my son.
No,
No,
I was
I
gonna say the same thing, Charles, because you remember years ago when there was a riot, shit, not a riot, a protest, with that black lady. recognized her son in the crowd. She went to beat his ass while he was in the crowd. That's the type of mama I like. That's what she should have done. But there's always a difference between us and them.
But she barely gonna say something, but she wanted to. Anyway, let's move on.
She was grabbing him all over the place. But kudos to that mother. I would like to know how that son turned out. So hit me up if I can, so we can know how you turned out after your black mama done grab you up. And that's like when black mothers used to embarrass you in front of your children, in front of your peers. My mother was funny as hell, and she often
they're not embarrassing.
Like one time, my mother told me in front of. One time I was out, my friends that came to pick me up because we was going out. My mother was like, "Oh, I didn't know you had friends, huh?" My mother's brutal. My mother's funny. She's a trip. My dad.
Well, they're not funny to them, but they're not embarrassing you. They're regulating. See that again, like my mother.
That's not embarrassing to tell your child that you don't have friends.
No. You got to no. My mom said that's a par for the course. You accept it. This ain't embarrassment. This is the way that I am. So yeah, no. That's the least my mother did.
If that's how you grew up, you can defend yourself against anybody else, really. But yeah,
people, your parents will be your first bully. So if you are that thin, my family, I've heard
it trickled down from my grandmother to the last one because my grandmother was brutal. God rest her soul. But she was brutal.
And that older, if you got raised with old people, I used to call it the old people. You get raised with the old people. There was no filters.
Yeah,
your feelings.
My grandmother always gonna
be fuck your feelings.
My grandmother had a third grade education, but the one thing that she could do was read the Bible and cuss. And she used to smoke. So, and I don't mean she didn't smoke cigarettes; she smoked other stuff. But those are three good things that she knew how to do.
You're talking about switches, extension cords, and all kinds of other things. I still remember the point when I said, "I'm going to call DCF on you." Do you want me to dial a number? Too? Oh, extension cords, switches, anything that could be picked up. She picked up a side of a lamp. It didn't make a difference. Whatever. She showed me with a broom one time. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
that one. And I talked about this today. My dad and I were just talking about this. My mother was so damn good at cutting the TV cord off with a knife, like one swoop, and that was it. We have gotten beat with the cord from an iron my dad had to replace, a TV cord extension. My mother was brutal. My mother came. She was
property.
Oh no, my mom's not tearing up property. She is
that chattel? Is that what they call chattel? we were the children of the sharecroppers in that house. My mother was good with it, and it's so funny because I was just telling my dad the other day. I was like, "Oh, Daddy, I still remember how you have to It got so bad that my dad had to use the electrical tape to fix the thing that she just cut off, just for it to be removed again for us to get beat when we did something else." So she didn't have to cut it. All she had to do was pull.
No. My mom would have the iron in one hand and whooping you with that's the original Mortal Kombat. She ain't tearing up the iron. She'll tear up your behind with the iron cord.
Listen,
maybe hit you. No,
My mother had 5 of us.
I never got whooped with a cord.
God rest my siblings' soul. My mother had 5 of us, and my sister's the youngest right after me. My mother used to line us up from oldest to youngest, and I was the last one to get hit. Because if you didn't know who did it, every last one y'all getting beat.
Now, my mother had a leather belt with her name engraved on the leather belt. So when you got hit with the belt, it left her name. Wherever you might
no. My dad My dad had a big belt with that. No. My mom would take every other. No, my dad had one of those. The weight belts. It was like the Hulk Hogan. No. That's what he'll be picking up. And then he's like, you know what? That's leaving too many marks that says my name. Go out and get a switch.
My dad never beat us, but my mother, she was a queen. Oof, Jesus.
These days, child abuse, mental abuse. I mean, I'm like, what is going on? You talking about you have a problem?
I got whooping, but every whooping I got, I know I deserved it. So I can't even be mad. I deserved every whooping I got.
I'm not mad at. I'm just saying. I'm just mad at you.
I don't even think I deserve a whooping. But if my mother didn't know who did it, everybody getting beat except my younger sister.
I mean, I didn't get whoopings for that. Like I got whoopings for stuff that I did, and it was never like she ain't whoopings to leave a mark. But
I
She
think
did
some
whoop
if
us. I
I
mean,
woke
and it
up
did
feeling
hurt,
my
but it
mother wanted to
wasn't
beat
like,
me.
Oh yeah. My
oh,
stepdad was the one that would whoop you and then not leave a mark because he was in the military. He'll finger points, whatever else, have you crying with one pinky. I'm like, what are you doing here? Hitting you with
Kind of
random
wish now
phone
my
books.
mother used to make us stand in the corner like the white folks did their children.
I'm like, I
Like
stick
Super
out in one
Nanny.
corner.
When Super Nanny used to make them children stand in the corner, my mother should have did that, but no, she came from a household of yelling and beating, so no. Anyway, so that's,
Switches and brooms is what my mom. I wish it was a corner.
we never got beat with a broom, but that extension cord. Whew,
Oh no! It was only a couple
I
times,
might
but she
cry
was
about it
sweeping when she
tonight.
got
Matter of
upset.
fact,
She was sweeping, and I said something, and she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." At that time, I was 5'9". My mom's 5'3". She got I don't even know how she did it. It was like Mortal Kombat. She ran up the wall, somehow had the broom around my throat. I don't even know. I still to this day don't know. She's like, "Oh, I remember choking you with the broom." I'm like, "What did I do?" I don't know. You said something made me mad. I was like,
wait,
I think
he did one of those moves that Jada Pinkett did in our Batman when she ran up on the wall in was it Batman? Oh yeah.
up
Even though
the
Jada
and with
Pinkett
the
ain't no
broom.
good actress, but she did something there.
Anyway,
Was she the
but yeah,
Batman? You sure
she
she
was
was
the
the Batman?
Catwoman.
Whichever one where she ran up on the
Catwoman.
wall.
Yeah, Catwoman.
That's
That
the
wasn't
last
Both of
time
them.
she actually
Catwoman.
acted.
You talking
Um,
about a low down dirty Shane?
I don't know what it
no.
was.
Oh,
So
okay.
She ain't called no wall and low down dirty shame.
it was an action movie. But
I
anyways,
know that
let's
movie
jump
by
into
heart.
oh okay, let's jump into the topic, which is the mysterious death of the Nolan Wells. So Nolan Wells, and I'm just gonna cover the first half of the timelines and the fact that we know. I'm not gonna do any speculative, whatever. I'm not gonna do it.
Speculative.
There you go. It's only based off of what the police have released and what they said. So they're saying that based off Nolan Wells' parents publicly expressed doubt about the intentional initial explanation of the events. So they're saying that there's conflicting statements amongst the individuals that was there, his quote unquote friends. They're questioning why he was allegedly left behind. Another one, and then also questions surrounding his cell phone. Back on July 4th of 2026, Wells traveled with his friends to what is called Horn Islands, um, which is in Mississippi of all places.
Hmm.
To celebrate
Off the coast.
Independence Day.
Hmm.
At some point during the outing, he actually got separated from his friends, and then also after they left, he failed to return home, and that's when his parents notify the police department that he was missing. But I read today that there was actually a young lady that had actually called the Coast Guards to report him missing, but the police did not take it seriously until the next day. And I think the next day is when the parents actually called to report him missing. That's when they took it seriously. But unfortunately, they found his body 2 days later. I sent out the video of the guy, the recovery guy. Um, and he wouldn't say a lot of stuff because it's an open investigation. So my
That whole thing
question,
is fishy. That whole timeline is fishy.
explain.
Because, okay, the parents went out that morning, which is the next day on the 5th. Same things. Went all around, looked for him, didn't see the body. Then the 6th is when the body shows up in the exact same area that the parents checked the day before. But then the body
Where
wasn't
they found his
waterlogged.
body was toward the end of the island, from what I seen. Is that where they checked?
Yeah, they said they went all around the island. They went around, they searched that exact area and they didn't find the body. The
You know
body
what? Wait,
wasn't
wait. From what I remember, if he's in the water, I don't know if the
they said the body wasn't waterlogged.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
And that the boat that the kids used, I think they said that someone saw them cleaning the boat at like 3 a.m.
I did see that. I did see that, but that's alleged. That's alleged. We don't know.
And one again is some girl. Because I was like, what was so funny about in the text? Like, what was so funny about the night that he was at a pool party and they argued at the pool party. He got sick and or something of that extent, and then all of a sudden So if he got sick or he was sick at this pool party after they came back from the island, why didn't nobody get him help? So what are you trying to say is that he died on at the pool party and they took his body back out to Horn Island? It's like they're trying to muddy the waters. It's like the way
I
she
mean, they
texts
also
and
emotionally
putting L,
when it comes to
yeah,
that.
and she putting LOL like it was so funny. I'm trying to figure out what was so funny about somebody dying. I'm like the way the text was written out is like I just feel like that's not what happened
Mm.
This is the
because
thing
the
that you learn from
picture,
movies, though, too.
Time?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Renee. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, one more time.
I was just saying, the thing about when you watch movies and stuff, and they say if you could cause enough confusion in the facts, it's hard for them to come up with a true story as to what happened or a true timeline as to what happened, which creates doubt and it makes it harder to prove. And that's exactly what they're doing. They can't. They're confusing all of these statements up, all these timelines up, so that they cannot come up with a clear timeline. Therefore, they cannot come up with the clear cause of death or place of death or
Time of death.
location of death
Hmm.
or time of death. And and by that fact, who's going to be to blame? We don't have anybody. We have it's too much confusion on
there's
top
no
of them being
confusion
white
that the next
and with
day
money.
the
Well, let me
kids
say this
went
before you
private,
continue,
scrubbed
Renee,
the internet.
because yeah, because his parents were saying that he lived on his phone. He lived on his phone. He was always in communication with them, no matter if he went somewhere. I don't want to say down the street, but if he was traveling somewhere because he had went to some place before, like a beach or something like that. Before he told his parents, "Hey, I'm going here and I'll be back at this time." So they've said that. So if he's always in constant communication with them, there might be a rough timeline as far as like, hey, this was the last time that he used this phone to text his parents or whatever the case may be. So they can give a rough estimate as far as like when he may have been displaced from the group. I'll say displaced, not left behind, because
But
I don't
they
know if
were
he was
using
displaced or not.
they had access to his phone and they were using his phone. They were accessing his Snapchat. Supposedly his snaps were deleted
Deleting snaps,
or whatnot.
yeah.
So
But they
if
didn't
that's the
realize that
case,
he had
then
Life
that could have
360
been.
on there.
That I'm gonna tell you, if anybody, Life 360 is way better than Find My iPhone. Life 360 is way better than that. And you can have a family plan and all like that. I would suggest people get Life 360 on their phone.
What good is it if they take it on the boat and you ain't with it? Take the phone on the boat and you ain't with it.
No, but see, that's the
It gives
thing.
you a historical data though.
Yeah. So the parents are saying because they was like, oh, the phone was returned. One of the kids returned the phone to the parents. The parents had to use Life 360 to go track the phone down,
Because Life
and the parents,
360 takes you from point A to point B. It actually tracks you from where that phone was last all the way to where it is now.
right, and
So they give
the
you that whole
parents
historical data. Yeah.
and the parents said
Get
that
360 Life 360.
because they were on Good Morning America, and the parents was like they tracked the phone down, and the dad must have asked for the car keys, and the kid was trying to act like he don't know where the keys was at and all this other stuff, and some girl had to tell him like, oh, the keys was on the Xbox. They wasn't even trying to give him the keys to his kid's car. Like, what's that about?
Mind you,
It
they
was just
returned apparently they returned home and never even told her for 2 days that her son was missing. Like, they went, yeah, so it's like, and then one of the boys, coming to find out, one of the boys' stepmother is a judge there in the city.
mhm.
Oh my
So that's
God.
another thing, because now they got lawyers and stuff like that.
They
And
got
they're
they
right
had
to lawyer
lawyers
up.
before they even sent. I don't even think they sent condolences or said anything to them. Like they scrubbed the internet, they went private, they lawyered up all before the end of the week. So it's like if you didn't do anything, why are you acting so suspicious? And again,
And
I'm
then, but
like,
acting suspicious ain't the crime. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
don't prove the crime, and that's the bad part about it. It's like I was watching this show where the guy died. He fell and died, and they said, "Well, we were with them. We had issues with them, and even though we didn't kill him, it still looks crazy. So let's try to hide the body, right?" So it's like they're just trying to. It may have been an accident. So he may have gotten sick and died, and they may have said, "Okay, this doesn't look good. We're three white guys with a black dude that just got killed, that just died. So maybe we should just throw him overboard." I don't know. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what the inners of it was, but being suspicious doesn't equate to guilty, unfortunately. And then these timelines, again, they're just set there just to confuse everybody.
So
So there is no.
let me go into something now that you say three white guys with a black guy, because here's the thing. Actually, this has been raised. Well, the conversation has been raised about race, because some people are saying, and I won't say somebody out of this group used the word token black guy.
They do get
Who
sent.
it is, Renee? Um, but somebody used that term token black guy in a group, but they're saying that he actually had a diverse group of friends. Um, but people have now jumped on the quote bandwagon, making it a racial thing. What do you all think about that aspect
So
of
here's
it?
the thing. So we don't know if it's going to be a racial thing until we get more information, if we ever get information. Again, at the end of the day, I don't care if it's a racial or not a racial situation. We need to know what happened, why it happened, and then take it from there. So again, to your point, if something, hey, he got sick on this and then he bumped his head, blah blah blah. It ended up being a bad situation. We didn't necessarily get him back to halfway home. He was actually dead. We couldn't do anything. You guys need to fess up to what happened. You know what I'm saying? Fess up to what happened so we can make the determination, not hide behind lawyers and attorneys and things like that. Because again, to Renee's point, as they were saying, you had an attorney before you reported him missing. You had an attorney and had everything else scrubbed before anything's going on. If you know he's gone, then say something. Why are you wasting resources? You should be blamed for the resources lost if you know what happened to him.
My thing, the only reason why I said him being the token black, yeah, you can have a diverse group of friends, but time and time again, it has been proven when situations arise and you being the only person of color or a black person in a group of all Caucasians and
White.
something tragic happens,
Mhm.
all of a sudden everybody got amnesia, nobody knows what happened, and it never fails because look at the lady with the sleepover. To this day, they're trying to say she sleepwalked off the side of and fell from the balcony when she wasn't even nowhere near there at the end of the night. And they found her in the grass in the morning, and nobody knew what happened. Miraculously, they got cameras all over the house, but nobody saw anything. Nothing was picked up on camera. Black guy went hunting with a group of white dudes. All of a sudden, he's dead. Don't nobody know what happened. It's like so. All of a sudden, everybody in the group got amnesia. This kid goes missing. He is in a group. These are supposed to be his friends. All of a sudden, everybody came back except him. His phone made it back, but he didn't. Nobody's calling the parents to say anything to the parents. Nobody. The parents gotta track the phone. Why are the parents tracking the phone? Gotta track the phone. Gotta literally like bully their way to get his car keys and his car. It's like why these instances happen where it's only one black person of color, but everybody else white got amnesia and they're getting off. Nobody's being charged. Nothing's being investigating. It's like these. All of a sudden, it's like these. What is it called? Like weird deaths.
Gotcha.
Like that's
Serious.
And
mysterious.
since this
Like
has happened, a lot of people have came out talking about other black children that went missing with their white friends or white people. Um, and I'll probably put up discussing more on one of our other shows. So, but here's why a lot of people have said that they have brought up the race factor, because it's in Mississippi, and given the history of Mississippi and the racial tensions of Mississippi, they're saying that to be a black person in majority white space in Mississippi is a dangerous thing. So my question would be to you all: how do you discuss race, or do you discuss race with your kids, or will you?
You have to.
Absolutely.
What would
What do
be
you
what would
mean?
be y'all's discussion? Because you don't want my opinion.
No, anytime you have, and it is a daily, whatever happens, if it comes up during the day of whatever goes on, you have to discuss it. You're in a store, you're sitting over here, keep your hands out of your pocket, keep your items over here. It's just certain mentalities. Whatever you're at, no matter what it is, it is a daily lesson if it comes up
It is so
And
on.
exhausting.
sometimes, and the
It is
sad
so
part is,
exhausting. Go ahead.
the conversation sometimes will have to differ based on if you got sons or daughters,
Hmm.
because you
You
will
know, and just
have
really,
a. No, go ahead.
some one thing I really have to stress is what's good for the goose is absolutely not good for the gander. Just because you see your friends doing it, the white kids can do it, they can get away with it, does not mean that you can. So you have to always move differently. And even with this situation, it's like I'm surprised that nobody in this group has gained a conscience yet and said I have to do the right thing. And that's the scariest part about it
You have to
is that
be
there's multiple
raised
kids here,
with
multiple people here,
a conscience. You have to be raised to believe that every
and
life
that's scary.
is
But
worth
that's the scary
something.
part
And
that
when
they're not.
Being
Their
influenced
parents are
by
probably
their
our
peer.
age, right?
Mhm.
And they don't have a conscience. They're not raising these kids with any sort of like empathy, anything to say this is
Yeah.
wrong. I have to say
No.
something because this is wrong. This what happened was not right. I know the truth. I could say something. I can make this right. But you were okay with looking at other people hurting like this, mourning like this, and you can live your life like normal is insane to
their
me.
parents have not even reached out to his parents to say condolences or anything. They go lawyers first. You understand that? And to me, that's kind of telling. It's like you don't give a damn about that family, about that kid, and he really wasn't your friend. And I don't know who posted the video of like someone was taking a video of like while they were out and about of the surroundings. And I could have sworn I heard somebody say, "You're not getting on this fucking boat."
They actually has a video that did state that, and then on top of that, they also misidentified the color shorts that he had on. Originally, they said that he had on black shorts, and one of the young ladies actually who took the photo of
Dark blue.
the three dudes and him told the mother no, he had on blue shorts, and she sent her the picture. So she may not have known what happened to him, but she at least did her part.
I
So
tend
who's
to
the
do
old man
something.
that they were fighting with at the beach then? There's a video of they're arguing with the old guy at the beach, and there's a tall white guy that's got a bloody nose. Y'all didn't see that video?
Mm-mm,
No.
No.
He was
mm-mm.
arguing with them, and Nolan was trying to calm or check on his friend. The one with the bloody nose, he was trying to check on his friend to see, make sure he was okay. Um, and but it was this older white guy that was, being an aggressor. I'll send it to you guys, and then maybe we can discuss it later. I don't know.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can always follow up on it. But somebody also made the statement that the that they were saying that he wasn't getting on this effing boat or something like that.
Yeah, it sounded like
And
because
then the
they,
girl was like,
the
she didn't know
video
who
was
said it.
panning, but he looks like he was standing off to the side. Not off to the side, but he looked like he was standing apart from the group, and it was a group of kids, like a group of guys. And as the camera is panning across, it sounded like it said, you're not getting on this effing boat." But not effing, but you're
Yeah,
not
and
getting on
that and
this
there was
fucking
something
boat.
else that he was asking for his phone too, right?
Yeah.
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 He
Where's
was
give me
telling
my
them like, "Give
phone?
me my phone, give me my phone."
So are you divided on this? Because okay, so I have read the comments and it's very divided among blacks and white. White people in the comments, from what I'm seeing, like, oh, it's typical for a young man to stay behind to talk to a girl. It might be typical for him to stay behind and talk to a girl, but not to leave his phone, especially when you're so attached to it.
There's
And
not
Talking
even
to a
got to
girl,
be
trying to
black
get
attached
that
people are
to
like,
number. What do
yo,
you
you.
this
First of
is
mean?
too
all, it
suspicious.
might first of all, it might be typical for them and their kind to stay behind to talk to a girl and have somebody else walk off with your phone. How the hell are you supposed to communicate with the girl?
How you gonna get that number? Like, what? That don't even
Right.
make no sense.
Yeah,
That
yo.
doesn't make exactly. It doesn't make sense.
But
So
even if
You
you
like,
know,
get
when
it,
it comes
And
to
you think
us,
I'm gonna
they
stay
tend a lot of
behind
them
and not
tend
have a
not to have
ride
common
back?
sense because they don't know
They don't
how
Uber on
they
the
don't know how
boat.
black people operate. A lot of times, if you're not around us, if you don't have many black friends, and I'm gonna say this is not a lot of the younger ones, is a lot of the older stupid white ones that I'm talking about that have made this comment that
Cause
they
what
don't
you
know
staying
how we
behind for? You don't have
operate
no
as
place to stay.
individuals, and they're
Ain't
always in
nowhere
our
to get
business. So I
back.
don't know how they don't know how we operate. Go ahead.
and why would you do that on a? I can catch you on land, girl. I mean, where are we going back
Right.
to?
Like they don't Uber on the boat. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because
So I'm gonna
I'm
stay
not
behind
looking
on
to
the
make no
island
boat.
without you.
I'm not looking to make no boat rock with other people on it. Probably me and you.
like you're
But this
you're
is another
out
thing that
on an
makes it
island
weird for
that
me
has
too.
no service, right? There's
Mhm.
one way in, one way out, and he's leaving behind his only way of getting off the island to talk to some chick.
But
Nah.
even that, but
And
here's the
this is another
thing.
thing too.
E- Good.
Oh, I was saying, say they did take his phone and leave him, right? Ain't nobody else on the island that he can borrow a phone when he call his mama. He was
Oh no,
already
there's no.
he got on that boat.
Yeah, because there's no signal out there. So
There's
that's
no
the thing.
service. That's the thing.
He would not be. So here's the thing. Now I was gonna say
Oh,
about the phone is if I'm staying on an island, I'm at least taking my phone. So if just in case I can get signal or I have something to do, it's the games, it's the stuff on it. It's not gonna. This is what it is. Everything's on the phone. See, this is not back in the day where it's just a phone, whatever. This is your life, and that's where the attorney Crump was saying, oh, that he's on his phone. I don't care if he's on his phone or
Ah,
not.
Fresh crumb.
Everybody knows you will walk away and you'll leave money, you'll leave this, but if and this is pretty much anyone under age 50. You will have your phone, you'll leave your wallet, you'll leave your keys, you're gonna have your no where you're going. I'm getting up and going.
it's
I have my phone.
it's Wi-Fi and it's selfies because I mean
This
he's out on Fourth of July. He might want to take pictures, and they
this
might have
selfies,
Wi-Fi in a
yeah,
restaurant. Who knows?
or wherever he's
He's a
gonna be. He's
teenager.
gonna have his
I know he
phone.
was
Yeah,
taking selfies.
that's the
Unless
only
there's
thing he's gonna
something
have.
on that phone, and the reason why they deleted the snaps is probably because there was something on those snaps
They also
that could have told what happened to him.
now they
Yeah.
also have deleted their profile pages too.
They scrubbed the internet
Yeah,
of this
they
stuff.
scrubbed the
They
entire thing. So that
professionally
in itself
scrubbed.
makes it kind of suspicious as well.
No, the professional scrub is that. So hopefully, when it comes to the phone, it wasn't on
Dude,
just on Snapchat. It
hey,
was on
does
other
anyone
It's
you know
things.
probably
anybody
already on
that
the
works on the
cloud.
dark? If somebody can work on the dark web and pull up those texts from Snapchat and all that, I would love to. I wish I had money. I'd have been like, I'll pay $1 million for somebody on the dark web to pull up their thing. It'll
Oh
be
no, there's
interesting
somebody
to
like
see
again.
what
It
they
depends
scrub.
on what they scrubbed and if it's a pass. It depends on how far they went back. Because if you have that big money, they can do a lot of stuff. But a lot of stuff is held. But like I said, I was about the phone.
Oh,
Hopefully,
she
there's
can
some other stuff
subpoena.
that was just on the base of the phone, not just the Snapchat, but on his regular text and stuff. Because they can retrieve any of that. They can retrieve a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
that stuff from his
So
phone.
I'm gonna read a statement to y'all, and I want your take on this one. So there was a statement recently, and I got this from TikTok. Somebody, one of our people from our community says their children are always safe with us, but our children are not safe with them, which reflects a perspective that some people hold based on their personal experience and interpretations of history and current events. And then others, of course, strongly disagree with it, arguing that it paints an entire group of people with a broad brush. What do you think about that
What
statement?
group?
That
What
their
group of
children are
people?
always safe
No,
with
we
us, but we're not safe with them?
they always say if you get lost, find a black woman.
Hello,
Exactly.
They
hello.
always say that because we'll take care of them. So, but would I say to my son, if you get lost, find a white woman? Hell no, no.
Yeah.
See, unfortunately, I've heard the statement "white women's tears will get you killed" every time.
Every time.
Every time.
Every
You could
time.
only be 11. What happened with Emmett Till? White woman's tears. Wasn't even
I'm
real.
gonna tell you
So
something.
no, I would not feel safe sending my child into what I would consider the lion's den, which is you're sending a sheep to the slaughter. Because at the end of the day, if something happens, you it's very rare, but I'm not gonna say all, but it would be very rare that if something does happen, that you're gonna look out for my child the same way that I would look out for yours. And you will always run to protect, defend your child, even if your child is wrong, while we're like, yeah, you wrong, and we'll hold your child accountable.
You'll take it. Oh, that's what my mom used to say. If you do something wrong, go. Feel free to beat him, and then have anyone else beat him. And when he gets home, I'll beat him, and then he'll understand that no, it's not. If he does something wrong, he's going to step up for it. That's it. That's the mentality that we have.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not the well. It was Jimmy's fault, or no, 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 no. I don't care what Jimmy did. I don't care what did you do. But what did you do? What
Mm-hmm.
responsibility did you have? And again, it's not painting a broad brush. It's always painting a broad brush when it comes to them, right? When it comes to us, oh no, no, it's all of y'all. You're painting a
Yeah,
broad brush.
we
No, that's what
we
happens.
are
I'm gonna
we as
I'm
a
gonna
group of
tell
people
you.
are monolith.
So I'm gonna tell you from personal experience. I tolerate white folks. I don't trust them. I only trust 4 white people in my life. That's it. I tolerate them. And the reason as to why I say that is because so most people don't know. When I was younger, I was 10 years old. My brother had just turned 13, and he was friends with a group of 4 white dudes. 2 of them lived across the street from us, and 2 lived down the street. There was one particular day that my brother missed the school bus and stayed home with my older sister, God rest her soul as well. And they held him underwater, drowning him. And these were people that was his friends. My brother had just turned 13 in May. And I want to say about a couple weeks or a month later, they held him underwater, drowning him. And he was brain dead. He went in a coma from his 13th birthday in May, and he died October 23rd. And from that point on, in my head as a child, I knew not to trust white folks. So when people make this
Mm-hmm.
statement that their children, that our people are not safe around them, I wholeheartedly agree. I don't trust no white people because of my history with them growing up here in the South. You see, back in the Caribbean, you all say we're all unity, we're all one. So it took me years to get over my hatred of white people to where I can now trust at least. And these are white people that I know. It's not, you can't come to me as a white person and be like, oh, let's be friends. That's not going to happen ever in my life. I got to know you and I got to know your intentions because of my history. I think, um, I think for me, when you say that, you know, every black person, not every black person, but most black people, especially black women that I've met in my life, has been nice black women that have taken care of other ethnicities through, like, let's say, adoption or foster care. And every one of those children grew up with us have been like, I've been taken care of by them better than I've been taking care of my own people. So that's my history with them. I tolerate them, but I don't trust them. So if it was me having children, I would tell my children, do not trust them at all. Period.
We grew up with a sense of community. That's the problem. They grew up with individuality. We grew up with a sense of
That's true.
community.
That is true.
So they don't
Like
know how
Charles,
to be
like
community.
Apex says, Apex was like, "Hey, listen, you used to walk by a house, they beat you first, the next house beat you, then you get sent home,
Word.
your mother beat you." And back then, we used to be able to go to the house and be like, "Hey, your child did this, this, this is why I disciplined them."
My mom didn't care. She doesn't even get. Did he deserve to be
She
beat?
choked you
And
with a broom. Of course, she didn't care.
I understand that. That's what I was like. Every time I would go with anyone, any adult at any time, hey, just feel free. And then when you get home, I'll take care of it. I'm like, how you have an open season? Just random people. Hey, beat them. She's like, that's if you need to be beat, you need to be beat.
Yeah.
Apex,
So
Okay.
you would not last in the Caribbean because if you get in trouble at school, you was getting your ass whooped from school home.
I had a cousin whose mother went to the school to beat her in school after
I've
the
had
teacher
cousins
beat
that
her,
have had cousins that happen
and
that
then
has
she got
happened
beat
to.
again when she went home. Because you don't did yeah. So my question is, based off of everything, whether it's speculation or facts, what information are you hoping to be released? in his case.
I
That's one of the
wouldn't
truth. Right.
the autopsy because
But
if they're saying that
they did have Ben Crump. Okay, I don't trust Ben
it's
Crump, but
it's
they
an
said they sent it
independent
for independent.
to DC. I think they said, if I'm not mistaken, I heard it was Colin Kaepernick
Kaepernick,
that
yeah,
paid for
and
the
Tyler Perry.
body, to be have a independent autopsy because they didn't trust the pop. They didn't trust Mississippi to do a thorough autopsy of the body. So that's a good thing as far as I'm concerned because if they to try to say like it was an accidental drowning or something, who knows what, especially if one of those kids parents is a judge. You understand what I'm saying? So um I'm just waiting to see what the cause of death is, and then I want to see how they're gonna try to spin it.
What would you be?
No.
What would you hope to be released, Apex?
No, again, we're not gonna. There's not much we're gonna be able to get. What I would hope to be not even released is that the truth that whomever 1, 2, 3, all of them, whomever was involved, it comes up and says what had happened. Hey, this is the real deal. Let not have us hunt it down and again, if we end up finding out and you deleted this off the phone and everything else, and it was just an accident, again, it would take a lot. But if you're not facing it ahead of time, then I'm saying give me the electric chair. You need to go because you have an
I wanted to
opportunity
be
to
the
make it
person to
right.
pull the electric chair at one point. I was just telling your girlfriend that, Apex. I was like, yeah, I want to. She like,
I've
I'm
heard that
morbid.
crazy story. Your craziness on your pulling the trigger. But no, like I said, I just want to know truly what happened. It makes no sense. What is the real truth behind it? The black man is not sitting there staying on the island. What happened? You guys fought. Something happened on the way back. Okay,
At
let's
this
tell the truth.
point, it's not one, it's all because they all did collectively did the same thing. So which means they're all three of them are conspiring together and getting their stories together because whatever happened, they literally everything is in unison for all three. So I just feel like it's all three of them.
Oh no, like I said, I just need
So,
one.
so
I need one to tell the
so
truth
basically,
so
what
we
you're
can get the
saying,
rest
Independence.
of it.
Renee, is if one actually committed the crime, but the other two held on to it, you basically would convict them. You basically charge them with conspiracy after the fact.
Yeah, you covering it up. You helping one person to cover up the crime because you all three of you are moving the same. So
Well,
either if it's one or it's all.
So, Farrah Monet, what would you what information would you hope come out of this?
I need one of them little jokers to step up and say and tell the truth.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm.
that's really what I would hope. Just one of them would come up and just be honest and say what happened, um, and take the punishment like a man and move on with their life. You know, they offer, but and I get that. I also get that there might be fear being that one of the parents is a judge or the parent of the person who knows and didn't do anything. Maybe have the parent with that's a judge. I don't know, but I get there might be some fear because there's a lot of influence in their community by with these other kids. But I just hope somebody has a conscience that the conscience outweighs the consequences that may happen because right is right and wrong is wrong, and somebody got to speak up, and somebody else who saw what happened needs to speak up. It's not enough people talking.
Well,
It's
I know
not
the
just these three
police is
people
now
or these
asking
boys.
people to submit evidence if they were on Horn Island. My thing is, I want to see the text messages that was deleted, or even the Snapchat.
The
That's what I
snap.
would like to be released. Other than the autopsy and stuff, I would like to see what led up to it. Um,
Now, do you think that they used his own car to move his body at some point from the boat?
hmm, I never
Because
thought.
why were they giving the parents such a hard time giving his car keys and getting his car back?
Oh, some of that, and again, who knows? That's a good thought, but I think some of that is they didn't even want to be like, oh, it's not here at all. They wanted to go with the non, like, so we can then have it thrown somewhere. I think I don't, I think they were when you are after the fact trying to create stuff, then
No,
you
but,
trying to.
but my thing is the car was sitting in the driveway.
Right, right. It was there
The
already.
car was at the house.
That's why I don't
Oh
think
yeah,
That's why I don't think they would have moved it. They would have left the car wherever it was. They'd taken the car
yeah.
somewhere else. Because at that point they knew they had the car. If they didn't have the keys, didn't know where he left the keys, then they would have just went and got more keys made and got the car. They own the
But they
car.
could,
So I don't
but
think
that's
they
the
would have
thing. The
used it to
car
move
was
the body.
there. You never know. Kids are dumb.
They are dumb. But you know what?
But
Hey,
their parents are in cahoots with this.
Yeah, so I think they're trying to they were trying to make sure all the ducks in a row before they started releasing what they had.
that's some bull.
Hmm
I
Look,
don't know.
let's end
I
tonight's
like I said,
conversation on that note. I just want to say because I have to put out these disclaimers these days because my opinion is different. Um, we're definitely not trying to convict them before it's time. We're just talking about the situation at hand. I'm hoping that more information comes out. I'm gonna say this: y'all may not want to convict them, but for me, white folks, they're already guilty in my eyes. I don't trust none of them. And the four people that I do trust, they know who they are. Um, but in my eyes, I already find them guilty, especially with everything that has been revealed afterwards. But y'all don't have to.
One thing we know that they're guilty of is they're guilty of knowing something. That's all we know they're guilty of right now. Is that they know something.
I'll let you ride with that one. I'll let you ride. I'll let you ride with that one. Um, but yeah, let's see how it plays out. I like to actually follow up on a lot of these things because a lot more stuff is always being revealed, and the internet be serving. That's why That's why I want to do some more podcast, TikTok stuff because the internet always serve more details and information because the public opinion is definitely strong when it comes to TikTok, Facebook, and all like that. So I would like to follow up on it. But anyways, as the investigation continues, our hope is definitely that more facts is being released and the family receive the answers that they deserve. And the public remains committed to discussing these issues with both honesty and respect. Well, I don't know if people are really going to give honesty or respect because I've seen some of the comments um, based off of what some adults have said about this situation and Nolan Ryan because they're trying to paint him as a bad person, but this dude was actually a star athlete and he was actually good in school. And his friends, he has multiple friends. Like his friends was not only white folks, it was actually a multitude of people. He got along with everybody based on the information that was given about his character. So, but
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
definitely
And
But if you
this goes down to we're always going to be the bad guy in every situation.
regardless,
This is
yep.
going to be flipped so that he did something that he's the bad guy. So let's paint a narrative that he's a bad guy, that he's not a good kid, so that
hmm
when it does come out that, or if it does come out that they did something to him, they can make it seem like he's the aggressor
Yeah,
and he's
because
Yep.
that's
he
what he
caused
did.
it.
Yeah, he caused it. He was a mean green intimidator. He was just great. I mean, look at him. He was swole.
And
He was
almost
toned.
every did you see I was gonna end it, but did you all see the song that somebody made up? I have to send it to the group. This guy made a really good song. I damn near cried to it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It was that good of a song. He made a song about
Mm-mm.
Nolan Ryan and everything. Nolan Ryan. Nolan Wells.
Get her you.
It was a good tribute to him. So I'll share it to the group. But yeah, that ends today's conversation. I will encourage our listeners to subscribe and also share the episode. Just join us next time as we continue to have conversations that challenge our perspective. You can go ahead and follow us on all social media. We'll be listed at the end of the video. Until the next episode, please stay blessed. Give me a second, everybody. So, no, I never have everything up and running.
You'll get it. You'll get it. You'll get it.
I'll get it. I have so many streams. It's like whatever. I kind of wish we was all in the same location. But y'all don't want to be around me in person.
Why you trying to you gonna have an episode where you start calling people names?
Huh? After,
Coming up on your episode.
after we end. Let me stop it.